Click this drop down arrow, click new. And since I'm using inches, I'm going to use Autocad 3D template for imperial units and click open. I'm just going to open my reference drawing, which is this one here. Just going to adjust my screen, click this one. And start drawing from southwest isometric. So click custom view and select southwest. And I'm gonna draw this portion first, this head. And I'm gonna make sure to work on parallel projection. And go to modeling panel, click this drop down arrow and select cylinder. Click anywhere on the screen and enter 3.48 for diameter. So type in D for diameter option, enter, and enter 3.48. And enter again. And for the height is 2.27. Just gonna bring this closer. So this is the diameter and this is the height. Now I'm gonna apply fillet. So go to solid and inside the solid editing panel, select fillet edge, right click, select radius and enter 1. Enter and click this edge and enter again. Now I'm just gonna turn off the grid. I'm gonna create a sphere, and the distance from the center of the sphere, which is this one here, to the very top is 6.17. So what I'm gonna do is draw a line as a guide from the very tip, go downward for 6.17 and enter. I'm just gonna bring this to front view. Now go to home and click this drop down arrow and select sphere and click this in point. So this is gonna be the center of the sphere. And the radius is 4.27 as shown here. So enter 4.27, which is this one here. This one is the radius. I'm just gonna change this to wireframe. Now I'm gonna cut this sphere from this center here, from the center of this face. So I'm just gonna draw a line. I can start from quadrant and go sideways and go to solid, and inside the solid editing panel, select slice command, select the object to slice, right click to enter and specify start point of slicing plane. So start from this in point, go sideways, make sure it's straight, follow that green dashed line, or you can turn on the ortho mode. Click here and specify a point on desired side. So I'm gonna choose this side here. So below the cutting plane, select this side. And then I'm gonna cut this again from the face of this object here, from this one. I'm just gonna change this to X-ray so it's easier to visualize. So from this face here of the cylinder, so I'm gonna draw a line from the center and bring your line downward for 2.24. Enter. I can erase this one now. From the endpoint of that line, so draw a line from endpoint, go sideways. So I'm gonna cut from this point here. So slice command, select the object you wanna slice, right click, and specify a start point. Start from this endpoint and go sideways, click anywhere here, and specify a point on the desired side. I'm gonna choose this one above that cutting plane or cutting line, this one here. There you go. Now, I'm gonna change this one to realistic and apply shell. I'm gonna show you the model here. I'm just gonna change this to realistic. So it's hollow inside, because this is the holder of the shade. And the shade is a glass, by the way. Oh, I'm just gonna erase that. I don't need this one and this one. Alright. So now, inside the solid editing panel, select shell command. Select the object, bring it closer. Select the object you want to shell. And then click the center. Or you can do undo inside the command prompt. There is an undo option. Click undo and undo this face. Enter. And then enter the thickness, which is 0.12. 0.12. Enter. And enter again. So this is the 0.12. This one here. Alright, now I'm gonna apply fillet for this edge here. And the radius for that is 0.12. So go to solid, and inside the solid editing panel, select fillet edge. And right click, or you can go down to the command window, click radius option and enter 0.12. Enter. And select an edge. So select this edge here. Enter. And enter again. Just gonna erase that. And I'm gonna union the objects. Now we're done with the first part, which is the holder. Bring your drawing to top view. So this is a top view. And type C for circle, click anywhere on the screen, type D for diameter option and enter 4, which is this one here. Now bring your drawing to southwest isometric and extrude this one. Upward 4.5, which is the thickness of the plate, which is this one here. Now bring your drawing to front view. I'm just gonna turn off the grid and draw a guide. The distance from the center of the plate to the center of the ring is 0.89 as shown here. So line as a construction line, shift right click, select center of the plate, move your cursor upward and enter 0.89. Circle, click that in point as the center of your circle, type D for diameter option and enter 2.54. So I use this red circle. Now, since I'm creating a ring, I'm going to use a circle, click anywhere on the screen, and the thickness of this ring is 0.19. So type D for diameter option and enter 0.19. Now sweep this ring. So click this drop down arrow inside the modeling panel. Select the circle you want to sweep, right click, enter, and select the sweep path, which is this line. Now, combine the objects. Select this ring and this plate. Draw the shade. Go inside the modeling panel, select sphere. And click somewhere here and enter 3.71 for radius. 3.71. Enter. Now I'm gonna cut this one, but first I'm gonna change this to X-ray and draw a guide, so line. So from the center of the object of the sphere, draw a line upward for 3.35. Enter and go sideways. And another line from center, go downward for 2.72. Enter and go sideways. So this is my cutting plane and this one. So to cut this object, go to solid, select slice command inside the solid editing panel. So it's here. Slice this object, right click, and specify start point of slicing plane. Start from this end point, go sideways, and select a point on desired side. So click this one below the cutting plane, and then right click to repeat slice. Select this object to be sliced. Right click, specify start point, go sideways, and select the top part. Just gonna delete this one. Just gonna change this to realistic. And I'm gonna apply shell command. So inside the solid editing panel, select shell command, select the object, make sure to bring this closer, and click this face to undo because we want this open. And this face here, make sure to bring it closer. There you go. Right click, enter, and enter. The thickness is 0.1. And enter again to accept. So this is the thickness. The next thing to draw is the back plate. So bring your drawing to front view and create 2 circles with a diameter of 7.55 and 6 inches. So C for circle, click anywhere on the screen, type D for diameter option, and enter 7.55 for the first circle. Right click to repeat circle, click the center of that circle, type D for diameter option, and enter 6. Now press the shift key and the wheel of your mouse at the same time to turn this around. And extrude the first circle, the bigger one, and the thickness looking from side view is 3. So extrude command, extrude this backward for 0.3 inches, and snap the second circle and extrude it forward for 0.25. Now union the objects and just we do the 2 circles or plates. I'm just gonna change this to realistic, and we're done with the back plate. The next component to draw is the arm, which is this one here. So make sure your ortho mode is on. Go down to the status bar, click this icon here. And I'm gonna use polyline. So PL for polyline. Click anywhere on the screen and move sideways for 1.64. Go upward for the height is 6.37 inches. To the right is 3.31. Go downward for 3.49. To the right for 2 units. Enter. And go upward for 1 unit. Now this is one object. I'm going to apply fillet on the corners of this polyline at once. And there's a trick to that. So inside the modify panel, select polyline. Go down to the command window. And you can see this option here. Select polyline. Click radius and enter 1. And just select the polyline. Now the thickness of this pipe or arm is 0.14. So what I'm gonna do is create a circle. Click anywhere on the screen, type D for diameter option and enter 0.14. Now I'm gonna sweep this object. So inside the modeling panel, select sweep command, select the object to be swept, right click to enter, and select the path, which is this polyline. Now the next thing to do is attach a sphere on the tip of this object, and the diameter of this sphere is 1. So inside the modeling panel, select sphere, and go down to the command window and select this option, 2-point option, and click the center of that object, and for the diameter enter 1. And if you bring this closer, you can see that there's a gap because this is curved and it's just touching the very tip of this pipe. So what I'm gonna do is use press pull command inside the modeling panel. Press pull command, hover over this face, left click, let go, and just pull it upward and click. Now union the objects. So inside the solid editing panel, use union command and just select this one and this one. The final step is arranging the object or assembling the object. So I'm just gonna turn this around so the face would be perpendicular. The center of the face would be perpendicular to the endpoint of this arm. So inside the modify panel, select 3D rotate and hover over the blue ring. Click and make sure your ortho mode is on and just turn it to 90 degrees. So you can do that by moving your cursor. That way I need it to be moving that way because I need the other face. Enter or escape and move this one. Center of the face, snap that and snap it on the center of this ring, the face of that ring, or the face of the endpoint of that ring. Now I'm just gonna join the segments or the objects, union, and now this is one object. The next step is to attach this one. Move. Center of the face. You can see that it's the center because of the blue color. Snap that. And attach it to the center of this, to the tip of this holder. Next thing to do is move this one, the shade. By the way, the shade in our model extended from the tip here for a certain unit. So what I'm gonna do is use press pull command and hover over this area here and just bring it down for, I'm just gonna eyeball maybe about 2.5 inches. There you go. And now I'm gonna move this object and shift right click and hover over on the side, and you can see that circle that appeared. Snap that and attach it to the face of this object here. Snap. And I'm going to check if the objects are interfering. So go to solid, and inside the solid editing panel, select interfere and just window this one. Enter. Second object to check. And if you check here at the bottom, it says objects do not interfere. So we're good. Now, I'm gonna move this one. I need to rotate this object now. If I bring this to front view, I have to rotate this one because I have to hang this object over here. So go to home, select 3D rotate, window the whole thing, and specify this point here. Oh, again, 3D rotate, window the whole thing, and just hover over this ring here, click, and turn it around for 90 degrees, and just follow the green dash line and snap that. And escape. Now I could move this object now. Move. And snap the center. And hang it somewhere here to the center of this object here. I'm just gonna adjust. Move this upward. And just put it somewhere here. To open the materials browser, type in materials and click this drop down arrow by the Autodesk library, and I'm gonna select metallic paint and select satin golden rod for the metals. Click this arrow to bring it up here, and click this drop down arrow again to select glass, and I'm gonna select rippled white. So click this arrow. And another one is luminous translucent white. So click this arrow and bring it up there. Now to apply materials, just select the objects. And I'm gonna click the satin golden rod. And for the glass, select translucent white. No, not translucent white. I'm gonna select rippled white. And I'm gonna create bulbs. So I'm just gonna select cylinder and maybe 0.25 for that, and downward for 0.5. And for the bulb, I'm gonna use sphere. And go down to the command window, select 2 point. So 2p for 2 point, and the first point of the diameter, snap that center, and then again sphere, 2 point, first point, click that, just bring this closer and pull down your cursor. I'm just gonna turn on the ortho mode so I'm sure that it's straight, and then enter 2.5 for diameter. There you go. Now I'm gonna apply materials. For this one, I'm just gonna use golden rod for the cap, and this one translucent white. There you go. As you can see here, this is supposed to be all the way down and curve at the tip. So what I'm gonna do is use this one as an object to subtract, to create a curve here. So copy selection, specify this point. You can use any point as long as you click on the same point for the second copy and enter. If you click this one, you can see the selection here. If it's on the selection cycling, you can see two 3D solid objects. So what I'm gonna do is use press pull command inside the modeling panel and pull this down, this face, pull this down somewhere here. Now I'm gonna use this object to subtract. So subtract command inside the solid editing panel, select the object you want to keep, right click and select the second copy to subtract. Then as you can see, it's cut nicely. Now I'm gonna attach this object here, but this glass is on the way. So what I'm gonna do is just hide this one first. So select the object, right click, hover over isolate and select hide objects. And I'm gonna drag these two, move from the face, this face here, center, and attach it on the face here. To bring back the hidden objects, just right click anywhere on the screen, hover over isolate and select an object isolation. I can close this one now. I think this tutorial is done. So please make sure to hit the bell icon to get notified for the next tutorial. Like if you like what I did, comment to help my channel, and see you again.